And hello, all my fellow nerds out there. It's Circle Nerd Richie, and welcome back once again to Rectifier in Bloom. I know I'm recording this video a little later than I usually do, but I had to run a few errands, and I am actually out of breath right now. but I got I got a drink here with me, so I should be fine with reading everything else here for the last of Percy's route. At least we're gonna finish Percy's route today, and if I have enough time, I might start Emil's route. I don't know. But anyways, continuing where we left off, after negotiations are complete, you both find your way back to the meeting spot. Luckily, Greer stood there waiting for you both. What happened to being quick, huh? Here, 8 tickets on the Evil Express. The next boarding is in an hour. We should get going. I've always wanted to ride in a carriage, but not like this. We're rescuing whoever's inside, then it'll be a normal carriage ride. That's good. I, for once, cannot wait. He says through gritted teeth. The boarding takes place on an abandoned road on the outskirts of town. For a while, it's just your group shuffling their feet in the dirt. Are you sure this is the right place? If I were going to do some sketchy shit, this place seems about right. Shh, I hear footsteps. You don't see anyone for another moment. This is the whole group? You got your tickets? Percy nods, handing them the tickets. One of the men squints, counting the group. 8. What's with the horny man and the beast? My prisoners. Without chains? I have other means to restrain them. The man looked more confused. They're harmless. The man can only shrug it off. Can we board now? There's another fellow supposed to join. Another passenger? I thought it would just be us. Thought wrong, Priesty. Percy taps his foot impatiently, huffing. Relax, it shouldn't be long. If he isn't here in the next 5 minutes, we'll leave without him. See? 4 minutes later, another man approaches. He's dressed in a headdress and a long cloak. It's ever so slightly concerning that you can't even see his eyes. But what did you expect of the people who use this means of transportation? You all had to take your places in the carriage before long. And like that, you're off. It's silent for a while. You're all packaged like sardines. It's going to be a long trip. Your eyes go to the back, where the smallest air holes dot the top. I know you're anxious, but we shouldn't do anything weird until we're at least a couple hours from town. That way we don't have to worry about reinforcements. For the first time, you wished the voice would come back. Percy's hand rests on over top yours, squeezing. It won't be much longer. You hadn't thought of exactly how you'd go about this plan, but you were certain some opportunity would present itself. That time came when the carriage came to a halt. Got to feed the horses. If you gotta piss, best do it now. You all file out of the carriage to stretch your legs. You find yourself huddling together. Should we do it now? It's as good a time as any. You didn't plan this? Plan is simple. Break out the prisoner, and if anyone stops them, we stop them. This is ridiculous. What do I do? Can I suggest a course of action? Please, finally something useful. You shoot Percy a look. He sucks in his lips. I'll go invisible and try to steal the keys to the carriage. Someone else to distract the guards, perhaps Greer and Lyor. Ren, Stills, and Glyph, you keep an eye out. What about Percy and I? When I release whoever's inside, you both talk down the drivers and the extra passenger. Sounds like a good plan. Without word of objection, Emil disappears before your eyes. Leo and Greer make their way towards the drivers. Ren, Stills, and Glyph begin walking the grounds. You think this will work? It'll work. We need to face interference we need to face interference is the real question. You look up at the hooded man. Me? He points to Percy. Percival S. Kennan? Percy squints. Who sent you? Who do you think? You look between him and Percy, worry sinking in your gut. As from Hugh, the man reaches onto his rose. At great speed, goes flying towards Percy. With the flick of your wrist, you send a wave of energy, knocking the dagger into the grass behind him. Perish. The man's muscles convulse, and he reaches to his rose once again. A dagger in his hand, then both hands as he points it towards his navel. No, stop! Why can't I move? Percy, stop! Stop. He repeats, and the dagger falls to his feet. He collapses to his knees, breathing heavily. The crew finds their way back to you guys, abandoning the plan. What's going on? This man tried to assassinate Percy. The man's hood is pulled off his head without a single person touching him. Stills is doing. The man is middle-aged, bearded, a scar across his cheek. Are you working for Stellus? Not going to talk. Ben brings his foot down on the man, flattening him against the ground, his weight pressing on one of the man's arms. How are the drivers not... Oh yeah, right, because Greer and Leor. He screams. Better start talking. We can break your arm in a second. Yes. That was easy. We got all the information we need. Now be rid of him. Percy, no, we don't need to do that. He just tried to kill us. Then would you like to do the honors, Liar? Well, no. We can arrest him right along with Stellus. Very well. Have your blessings, Phil. You were touched by an angel today. Rim, without another word, removes his foot, lifts the man by his hair, sitting him upright. Wait a second, I know you. He hired this guy? He can hardly hunt. Greer lets out a laugh. What, was Stellus on a budget? I thought this trafficking stuff was made good money. The drivers approach. What do you say? Emil can only facepalm. So much for my plan. We know you have someone in the caravan. And what's it to you? Release them. You can't do that. Then allow me. Release them at once. One of the driver's muscles contracts, and without another word, a protest walks towards the carriage. Will, where are you going? Are you doing what this priest says? What about our pay? The driver doesn't answer. Hey, I'm talking to you. He attempts to grab the other driver, but is stopped by Red, grabbing the back of his shirt, throwing it to the ground. Sit. The man shakes, but doesn't defy him. You all watch as the driver unlocks the caravan. Huh? What's going on? What's all the noise? Were we robbed? The voice. The source of whoever is in there. You approach. The carriage opens, and it's silent for a good moment. It's okay, you can come out. We've come to rescue you. Is that true? Or are they trying to trick me? Why isn't the driver talking? Please don't be scared. I heard your call. What? What are they talking about? Who's talking? I'm Richie. I'm a Nephilim. I heard you call for help. I was staying in the city of Alba. No one will harm you. Please trust me. A Nephilim? Like an angel? That's not possible. You shift, radiating a blinding light, illuminating the darkness of the wagon. It's possible. We don't mean you any harm. We purposely boarded to rescue you. You can hear me? I can. You really come to help me. We have. Please come out. It takes a moment for her to get up with the chains on her feet and behind her back. You see, who you see is a brown-skinned girl with mousy features, a charcoal-colored hair. She's skinny, with bags under her eyes. You extend out your arms. She only hesitates for a moment before falling into you. Percy, tell the driver to retrieve the keys from her chains. He does just that. Before you know it, the girl is standing rubbing her wrists and scratching her ankles. Her chains on the driver's an assassin instead. I can't believe this. Thank you, all of you. I don't know how I could possibly repay you all. That isn't necessary. Maybe you can tell us your name? Twyla. Are you Nephilim as well? No, but my father was. Half-blood. Turns out we were right. You exchange a small smile with Percy. We thought you were a ghost. Ghost? I suppose my power does sort of give that impression. I'm sorry to have used it so. I didn't know what else I could do. It isn't a problem. I'm just glad I'm not going insane. You reached the right person at least. No kidding. What now? We're traveling to New Hampton. Is there somewhere we can take you? I have no home to return to. I was taken off the streets. I was an orphan all my life. How'd they find out you were a half-blood? I stayed in the city of Vootsmark. There's a spot where the rift intersects with the land. I could cross it. I hadn't thought any different of it. Someone must have told someone else of this, and they kidnapped me. I've been captured since. It's months now, I guess. Stellus, he wasted no time. Miss Twyla, well, let me be the first to apologize. The man that did this to you was someone I put in charge of my cathedral. Of course, I had no idea he'd ever do something like this. Rest assured, he will be punished. Mr. Percy. Percy, thank you. But you don't need to apologize. It wasn't you who did this. I appreciate your apology. My cathedral in Concord, New Hampton. We worship the angels like your father, like Richie here. If you have nowhere to go back to, may I be so bold to suggest that you stay in my cathedral, of course. We will deal with Stellus beforehand. That's kind of you. I honestly don't know what to say. You have plenty of time to think it over. We still have another 2 weeks of travel. I'll think it over. Again, thank you all. I look forward to getting to know you all during our journey. The glorious chapel built at the side of a mountain stands prettier than anything else that surrounds it, sits amongst the willow trees, green waters, and golden skies. We're here. His gaze is stony. Do you think he's here? No doubt. Let us be done with this. Percy, I think we should gather all the evidence against him. So, play nice? Only for a bit. Then we can ambush him. Every time I think back to Twyla sitting in the dark, disgusting wagon, I can just see you, frail, scared, lost. I want him to know what it's like. He will. He'll rot away in a dungeon somewhere, never to see the light of day again. Just a bit longer. He seems to be doing better. Good. You're glad you can help him. What will we do with these guys now? A driver and assassin sit tied up where Twyla once was. We have a dungeon they can stay in. A dungeon? Mm-hmm. Right below our feet. Cliff looks down at his feet as if he just stepped foot on quicksand. The conversation is interrupted by a door opening. There stands a man in robes similar to Percy's, just noticeably less grandiose. Father? Will you inform Stellus of my arrival? No need. A man in equally grandiose dressings appeared. It had to be Stellus. I wasn't expecting you. To what do we owe this pleasure? I brought my friends. Wanted to give them a tour. Then we'll be on our way once more. Stellus scans the group, including Twyla. I'm impressed that he manages to hide his surprise so quickly. If you'd have blinked, you'd most certainly missed it. Of course, excuse the mess. Percy looks genuinely bothered by the information more than Stellus' appearance. Our carriage, it contains some prisoners. You can have someone take. Can you have someone take them to the dungeons? Ugh, I can't read today. At once. With a snap of his finger, 2 additional men scramble over to the carriage and start taking the men away. It's clear Stellus has been caught. What will he try to do now? What a trip you have. Yes, that's the last time using a carriage across the rift. We'll be staying the night. Of course, stay as long as you like. I'll be sure to check on them as soon as I finish showing this one around. He says, smiling at you. So Stellus opts to play dumb. Perhaps he will send another assassin after Percy. You mustn't leave his side. Well, he isn't the only one who can play dumb. You'll show me around, Father, won't you? You say, wrapping your arms around Percy's. All right, we're playing dumb. Making him think something else. He looks genuinely shocked. Of course. He says much too loudly while clearing his throat. I'll have some of the men show the rest of the group around. Emil saddles up beside Twyla. Good. She'll need protecting as well. Thankfully, your group is privy to your thoughts without saying a word. Or did Twyla speak to them, you wonder? You and Percy, arm in arm, end up wandering the grounds quite naturally. Father, you returned! Percy perks up at the sight of the soft-faced man. John? Johnman? The two share a hug where Percy whispers in his ear while patting his back. You brought guests. Without another moment, John reaches for your hand, pressing a soft kiss on your knuckle. The rest of the group is dignified with such a response. Isn't dignified with such a response, as they are led off by another man dressed in much the same way John is. This is Richie. You can thank them for my return. He says your name in such a way that makes you feel like royalty. John bows before you and shakes your head. And you shake your head. Please, it's nothing, really. As you watch the others depart, specifically Stella's, you turn your focus to Percy. The plan, you whisper. I'll give you a proper tour, then John and I will further investigate. As for you and the others, you will rest easy. I'll handle this. You've done so much already. Are you sure? Absolutely. I'll give you an exclusive tour. John, I'll summon you in about an hour. He only nods, departing in the direction of the others. It feels strange, leisurely exploring the grounds when a known criminal walks among you, but you have faith. You have faith Percy can handle this situation without you, though you wished he'd let you help him more. Ugh. The cathedral is gorgeous, especially at sunset. The stained glass colors touch everything in the main hall. The place is spotless, despite Percy fussing at how much dust there is. There's a gentle calm that resonates through its walls. After an hour, Percy begrudgingly walks you toward your room, where the others are also placed. Please try not to worry. I can see it all over your face. I've handled far worse than this lot. I know, I've been spoiled by your kindness. Let me take some of the burden off your shoulders. Comfort Twyla. So much is new to her. That's a fair point. Very well. Will I see you in the morning? With breakfast in hand. He says, smiling and bidding you farewell. Or you can retreat within your room. Richie, just a moment, please. She's by your side in a moment. I wanted to apologize, firstly, for frightening you and for burdening you with saving me, though I'm eternally grateful. It truly isn't a problem. I'm glad we could help you. We'll help as much as we can while we're here. You'll be leaving soon? Yes, in a few days, if everything goes as planned. Percy has said that you can stay here if you'd like. Unfortunately, I can't offer an alternative option. Anything is better than where I came. I'm grateful for this benevolence. You too seem close. You can only look at your feet. I'm sorry I said too much. No, it's just, well, we are close, but it's best not to put a name on what exactly our relationship is. I care for him is all. I just as I do the others. Yes, they are lucky to have you as their leader. The only stories I know of Niflheim are the ones spoken in my travels. I've never known that I was related to one until it was too late. I don't know what purpose I serve. No one does. It's for you and only you to decide. Can I write to you when you leave? Of course, though I can't promise a quick response. That's fine. I'd like some form of guidance. I'll do what I can. I'll let you get some rest now. Thank you for speaking with me. It wasn't a problem. I wish the best for you. This place may not be perfect, but the people here will help you get back on your feet. Thank you again. You only nod as you find your way into your room and bed. As the sun sets, you try to settle in bed without an ounce of comfort in your bones. Sure, there are no voices in your head, but the pure silence is also unsettling. Maybe a walk will help. Your feet end up finding the grounds of the courtyard, graced with flowers, fresh air, the company of statues. You think it'll help you find some peace. As you arrive, you spot Percy with his back to you, hands together behind him. Yes? You look surprised. Was he not talking to you? I wasn't expecting you. Can't sleep? You shake your head. Poor thing. It has been quite all eventful. Did you find anything useful? Do you really want to discuss that right now? He only sighed. I found lots of evidence. This was a horrible man we're dealing with, but soon he won't be a problem anymore. Rest assured. I'm glad John wasn't harmed. Indeed, he's done his congregation a great service. He will be Stellus's replacement. As for some of the others who have stood by idly with Stellus, they will be punished. Please, I'd rather not dampen this beautiful night with this. I'd rather discuss you calling me father earlier. So does everyone else here. You must know it's much different when you do it. It sets me on fire. Thankfully, he changes the subject, lest you explode from embarrassment. You're here in this courtyard we've built just for you, and you're kind. It's beautiful. It warms my heart that you sought it out. Nephilim have natural fondness for flowers, as do their worshippers. Percy wanders around for a moment, dragging his hands across the arrangement of flora, before stopping and plucking one of the flowers in it. It's a large purple amaryllis. He stands studying it for a moment before he presents it to you. Its beauty can't compare to the one that stands before me, but I chose the one I found most fitting. Among Stellus's many crimes is not watering them properly. Thank you. You needn't give me one. Nonsense. Every flower in the world is for you. This courtyard was designed so that you look upon us humans favorably. You're seeing it at its worst, unfortunately. It has your special touch all over it. It's clear you designed it. You're too kind, as always. As are you. Thank you for all your help. I think we'd spend the rest of our mortal lives paying compliments to one another. He's right. I'd really appreciate if you could try to get some rest. You look worn down. Lovely still, but clearly exhausted. You've plenty of time to talk in the morning. Okay, I'll try. Promise you'll do the same? Promise. Sleep well, Percy. Sleep better, gorgeous. The night carries on. You're able to find some sleep easier than you anticipated. The amaryllis sitting on your pillow as you drift off into deep sleep. Only to be awoken by a blood-curdling scream. It resounds from down the hall in your mind. It's Twyla. Before you know it, you and the remaining group are sprinting down the hall in the direction of where the scream is coming from. You look down a stairwell where Twyla stands in the doorway of the dark, stony room filled with light and a singular source. What's wrong? Are you alright? Twyla only points, her eyes widen in pure shock. You follow her fingers and see Percy again, standing with his back to you, this time with Stellus bloodied and unmoving at his feet. Percy! There's a mixture of objections and complaints from your group, but you don't hear any of them. Percy, what have you done? He turns to face you all, looking dead in the eyes as he steps over Stellus, wiping some of the blood that sprayed off his glasses. No one was supposed to see. I didn't mean for Twyla to witness this. She went down the wrong path and stumbled upon this. What happened to throwing him in jail? You had ample evidence, didn't you? I don't... It's pointless, Richie. I said I'd deal with it, and I have. He will no longer cause any more strife. This was the only way? Just say you were looking for a chance to quench your bloodlust. Hold on, we saw with our own eyes the horrors this man has committed. Stellus has much more blood on his hands than this. So just slaughtering him like some animal? The least they could have done was have a fair duel to settle this. fair duels are common on the battlefield, are they? Don't pretend like war crimes you committed are any different from what Percy's done here. The man tried to have him assassinated. It's an eye for an eye. There are ways to punish him, but only when a fair trial has been offered first. He didn't even give him a chance. There is no court system that exists in New Hampton. This is the cult business. This is cult business. What fair trial do you truly expect to come from this? All of you, enough! I've heard your arguments. I understand what you're all saying, but I understand. I took justice into my own hands, but I wouldn't be able to move on without putting him down myself. The atrocities he's committed, all under my name, he worked to have me taken out. None of it I was ever capable of letting go. What will you do with me, Richie? I'll accept any decision you make. Please have mercy, Richie. I was just startled by the scene, but I'm relieved that Celis no longer lives. I feel like I can breathe, that I'm safe. Though, of course, he's your companion. It's still your say. What will you do? Condemn? Forgive? Oh, we have a very important choice here. Oh, shit. I actually want to see what happens if I picked condemn. But I think this route would be worth nothing if I didn't forgive. You know what? Just this once, I'll forgive you. Oh. It was always your decision to make. This is your group, your people. I only offered to help where I could. I never specified how. If it's only the blood of a tyrant on your hands, I can look past it. Richie, I'm simply humbled by you. I won't take your forgiveness for granted. I may have acted too rashly, and I should have involved you. I only promise to do better. Please allow me to prove it to you. There's no such thing as a perfect solution for every problem we encounter. Your opponent was willing to play dirty, so you could only match that if you wanted to come out the victor. It's necessary we have someone like you on our side. Just make sure you reserve this punishment for those who truly deserve your malice. You grow wary of the sight. Let us all return to our rooms. We will discuss more in the following days. We will all need time to cool our heads. The group seems split still, but ultimately does as you say, thankfully. You're unable to hold it together until you get to your room. On instinct, you reach for the flower Percy had given you only hours before, finding some comfort in it. Proof of Percy's heart. You close your eyes, recalling the touches, the words, gestures you shared. There's no telling if you made the right decision. But your heart is set. The truth is that you also need him by your side, no matter what that entails. You can't imagine facing this journey without him, though it doesn't mean it'll be easy. The feeling of his thumb grazing your cheek becomes the forefront of your thoughts, lulling you to an uninterrupted sleep, with the hope he'll keep his promise and greet you in the morning with breakfast in hand. That was actually kind of a sad ending. Like, a really sad ending. I mean, we kind of have to forgive him, he's a part of our group. But like... damn. Alright. Well then. That is 6 of the 7 people so far. And in the next part, we will be doing Emil's route. Now, he is the last person that was added to the last route that was added to the game, and since it's fully out now, but I'm gonna save Emil for the next part. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a